Chapter 3. The Hidden Threats. The chill of the underground chamber hung heavily in the air as Caius surveyed the alcove lined with crumbling leather-bound tomes. Dust danced lazily in the shafts of light spilling through the narrow window, an ethereal glow that contrasted sharply with the darkness surrounding him. He could still feel the lingering tension from his earlier conversation with Elowin as he pieced together his assertion from memory. He must be diligent. Secrets had a way of twisting reality, and hidden truths often concealed dangers. Lorien glimmered nearby, his presence a comforting reminder of the task ahead. Caius brushed his fingers against the spines of several books, feeling the pulse of history beneath his fingertips. Each volume was a key to understanding the delicate balance his kingdom held, the shades of good and evil interwoven like threads of a tapestry meant to be unraveled. "What do you think is written in these texts?" Caius asked, directing the question to Lorien, who swirled nearby in a shimmering haze. "Stories, histories, perhaps warnings," Lorien replied, his voice a gentle breeze, barely more than a whisper in the vast chamber. "The past holds lessons, some perhaps missed by those who came before. In knowledge lies the strength to confront what lies hidden." Caius approached a large tome perched precariously on the edge of an uneven desk. The leather cover was worn, whispering of quiet tales clamoring to be uncovered. With both apprehension and determination, he opened it to reveal pages brimming with meticulously scribed symbols and scripts that glimmered under the candlelight. Secrets from ages past, proclamations, records of forgotten wars, Caius noted, his brow furrowing at the mention of an ancient conflict between the kingdom of Avalorn and an unseen enemy. "Lorien, can you help me decipher this?" "Of course. Let your mind wander along the current of time, and I shall guide your thoughts," Lorien murmured, infusing Caius with a flicker of understanding. The symbols morphed amidst the shadows, revealing their hidden meanings to the young king's mind. As he absorbed the intricacies of the text, Caius discerned a pattern. Dark whispers encoded within the language spoke of conflicts instigated by forces within, of advisors entwined in treachery, playing upon the fears of the noble houses to orchestrate a coup. Each sentence sprang forth like a portentous echo through the corridors of history, pulsing with significance. Elowin was right. "Danger stalks in shades I must recognize," Caius muttered to himself as he turned the page. Could she be a part of that lingering threat? "Do not rush towards suspicion, my king," Lorien cautioned, sensing Caius's growing unease. "Those who walk beside you may offer guidance as well as greed. True understanding lies in discernment and patience." Caius nodded, wrestling with contradictory thoughts while pursuing the knowledge before him. His experiences with Elowin filled him with a need to understand the alliances that shaped his kingdom and the motives underlining them. Before his fears could fester, he continued to immerse himself in the wisdom the texts offered. Hours passed, and the world outside the chamber grew dim. As torches flickered on the walls, Caius learned of concealed plots by envious houses nobles operating with shadows in their hearts, waiting for a moment of weakness. The pieces clicked into place, revealing a depth of deception nearly overwhelming. "What else do I need to care? We should seek counsel that transcends the very walls of this chamber." "Indeed, courage often shines brightest in trials," Lorien agreed. "But the first step into the unknown must be tread with care." With newfound clarity, Caius resolved to uncover the shadows that lingers around him and gain insight into the residents of Orenchar, those loyal and those treacherous. He embarked on a mission not fostered by aggression, but informed by wisdom. "Elowin, I must speak with you," he called as he descended the corridor, intent on sharing the implications of his findings and testing her response. Elowin was just outside the chamber, her demeanor deceptively calm yet impassive, as if waiting for him. "You have spent quite a time here, my king," she remarked dryly, eyes glinting with hidden meaning. "What newfound wisdom have you collected?" Caius met her gaze with steadiness. "The history we carry speaks of treachery and internal dangers. I need your insights on those who might seek to undermine me and how to navigate these suffocating webs." "To navigate is one thing. To weave through without becoming entangled is something entirely different," Elowin replied, a smile curving on her lips, a shadow of amusement layered on her expression. "Have you consideration of whom you may trust?" I will discern whom I trust, Caius declared, unwavering. Together, we can understand these threats before they take root and bloom into chaos. Then follow your thread of inquiry, but take heed, Eowyn advised, her demeanor shifting imperceptibly. The unseen may not always be what it seems. The tension hung heavy in the air between them, a silent understanding exchanged, yet shrouded in doubt. Caius sensed the labyrinthine nature of their alliance, each word she spoke both nurturing and constrictive. It was a dance he must master, lest darkness swallow him whole. Who will you begin with? Eowyn pressed, curiously studying the young king with what could only be described as penetrating interest. The nobility, those who whisper in shadows hidden from sight, Caius replied, determination elementally shaping his countenance. They alone will illuminate how deep the roots of this malice extend. As they moved, echoes beneath their footsteps reverberated against intricate stone walls, amplifying the importance of the mission ahead. The world outside awaited, both grand and terrifying, eager to unfurl the remnants of its history. Then let us make haste, Eowyn urged, exhibiting a vibrancy that belied her earlier ambivalence. The court is abuzz with apprehension, for news travels swiftly in Oranshire. Stepping into the castle's shimmering melodies, Caius felt the pulse of heartbeats converging around them, each a mixture of reverence and ambition. He would forge alliances and uncover truths, and perhaps even the loyalty sown into the hearts of his people. A palpable tension gripped the meeting chamber as Caius entered, rife with the quiet murmurs of the assembled nobles. The expansive room was richly adorned, gilded edges flaring against the wan light filtering from the tall windows. But Caius sensed the air weighty with unspoken concerns, still rife from the rumors of impending strife. He advanced toward an elevated table where an array of faces awaited him, some warm and welcoming, others glinting with hidden malice. A broad-stanced man sat at the head, Lord Eric, his voice booming with authority. "My king, we are eager to hear your message. We stand at..." A murmur spread across the assembly, eyes shifting and whispers spiraling in secret. Caius held firm, eyes darting from one noble to another, deciphering the intrigue woven within their demeanor. We each carry responsibilities that extend beyond ourselves. The kingdom awaits our wisdom. We must identify those who pose a risk to our peace. I sense a fiery resolve within our king, Lord Eric commented, a flicker of approval gracing his features. But remember, navigating these waters is fraught with peril. Allies can just as easily become adversaries when they sense weakness. But we forge our destinies together, my lord, Caius replied intently. Complacency is a poison we must avoid. We must choose to stand united or risk losing everything. I agree, Lady Mirabelle interjected, her voice lilting but strikingly direct. We are bound by responsibility to fortify our alliance, but we must also look into our own ranks. I will not be blind to threats arising from my own kin. Then let us begin here, Caius proposed, striving to bring forth more than fractured sentiments. What do we know of House Valentor? Their influence has grown unchecked, and I have concerns over their ambitions. A ripple of uncertainty surged through the room as noble heads nodded in acknowledgement. Their power is a double-edged sword, Lord Eric replied thoughtfully. They hold great strength among the common folk and seats in the council, but their loyalties are questionable. Eowyn glanced at Caius, an unspoken message passing between them, a stir of caution intermingled with possibility. They must tread carefully if they were to unearth any truths. Then let's seek to understand their motives, starting with their youngest member, Lady Elysia, known for her charm but also her cunning, Lady Mirabelle suggested, her eyes narrowing with intent. I hear she has recently returned from her travels and carries with her desires of alliances. A tempting lure, Caius muttered, keen on understanding the complexities that lay beneath, recognizing that it was essential to gather intelligence from those who operated delicately in the shadows. If she can sway the hearts of those around her, that would be a dangerous advantage. Shall we invite the lady to court? Lord Eric proposed, leaning forward, confidence blossoming in the gestures he performed. It's best to welcome her, extending the olive branch of alliance before drawing blades. Caius locked eyes with Eowyn, lingering on the uncharted bonds of trust between them. Let it be so. Wisdom is born of dialogue, and we must plant seeds of kinship while remaining wary of weeds unwelcomed. As the discussions flourished, Caius idealized the fortitude that the unity of the nobles represented, even as swirling doubts clung to his mind like the whispers of shadows drawing ever closer. The outpouring of ambition, however noble it may seem, could quickly turn malignant, corrupting the sanctity of their alliances. "Let us meet Lady Elysia under the Citadel's watch," Caius announced, rallying fervor within the room. "In pursuit of peace, let us face whatever threats may linger in the corners of our alliances." With those words, Caius attuned to the quiet pulse of determination shared among the gathered lords. A cautious but hopeful decision ignited a simmering energy that promised adventure rather than dread. As the court session dissolved, leaving behind a swirling chorus of speculation and intent, Caius felt Lorien's presence, and so the quest for clarity and truth blended with the shadows trailing in silent anticipation, each holding a narrative yet to be told, an influence still to unfold in the journey beyond Auranchar's stone-carved embrace. The deeper they ventured, the closer they drew to the whispers lurking just outside the reach of day, a dance poised on the knife's edge between promise and peril.